Guys, welcome back. So for today's video, I'm going to be trying out this Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. I haven't tried this product out at all, so we're going to see the way that it looks together. And I got it in the color, what color is this? The 8 Golden Neutral, so hopefully it matches me pretty good. This one is for dry combination to combination oily skin. I pretty much have dry skin right now, so I'm hoping that this isn't gonna like look patchy on my dry areas. Yeah, I'm gonna see how it wears, how it looks, and then I'm also gonna be checking in throughout the day so that way I can see how it wears within a few hours and show you the way that it looks later on and so on. So I'm gonna put it on, and the way I've done my other foundation reviews is I'll use a brush on one side of my face and then the beauty blender on the other side. So I am just using natural lighting. I don't have any extra lights, so this is the way my face looks in real life. It says that it's lightweight and it's a moisturizing makeup that covers thoroughly without clogging the pores. So we're gonna see the way that it looks, and it also says that it stays the true color that it is when you apply it. It stays that way, so it's not gonna like change on you or anything. The way that the foundation looks, and it has a concealer like applicator, which I thought was very different. I've never used a foundation with this, which is, it could be a good thing or a bad thing, because you know, you're touching your face with it and then you're sticking it back in there. So for that, I am gonna apply a moisturizer. So the one that I'm gonna use is my Derma E moisturizer. I don't have anything on my face right now, but I always apply moisturizer before foundation, and also a primer. So it doesn't say that it's priming. Some foundations say that they prime at the same time, or that they fill in your pores and stuff, but since it doesn't, I'm just gonna do everything that I do before applying a normal my regular foundations pretty much. And for the primer, I'm gonna use my Lancome La Base Pro. I'm gonna apply, I guess, just apply little dots. It says apply dots and then blend out. And I'm gonna do the right side with the brush. And I'm using my Sephora mineral powder brush, which is one that I use for, I know it says mineral powder, but I use it for foundation. It was pretty easy to blend out with the brush. I kind of like it. Most of the time, the majority of the time, I use my beauty blender because that's what I like the best to apply my foundation with. So I'm just going to do the other side. And I just went ahead and I applied it all over the face, even on my under eyes. I am going to apply a concealer, but I wanted to see how it looks. And I think with those little dots, like, it's enough. So you don't need too much foundation. I'm going to do the same thing. See, I have like the redness right there. Ooh, too much. And I'm gonna use my beauty blender to blend it out. I think with the beauty blender, what I'm seeing is that it looks a lot more natural, like it's like really getting into my skin. Unlike this one, I can kind of see it like just on top. But I'm gonna leave it because I want to see how it wears throughout the day with the brush. But it does seem full coverage too. Like, it's the same type of coverage. It's good on both. And it's not that I hate the one with the brush. I think it's maybe because I like the beauty blender more. But even the finish of it, it just looks a lot better. I like this side a lot better, the beauty blender side, rather than the brush. Just because on some areas, I feel like maybe since my skin is dry there, it kind of like, I don't know, it didn't really like buff it out too easily. And I'm gonna finish up my makeup and then I'll be right back. Okay, so all I did was my eyes and my eyebrows because I wanted to show you what I'm gonna put on top of the foundation. And also, by the way, I did find where it says natural matte finish, and you know what? Well, and it also says moderate to full coverage. Now that it's been a little while, because I was doing my eyes and stuff, I feel like this side doesn't look as dry anymore, and it looks like it's a little wet, but it's not at all. It's like completely dry, but it still looks shiny, like kind of dewy. So I think maybe that's like the natural finish look that it has. So right now I'm just gonna do my concealer part and set my foundation, because I'm gonna do like my blush and bronzer and all of that. But I want you to see what's going on top of the foundation a little bit, so because I'm gonna put a powder, so that way you know what powder I'm using and blah blah blah. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the erase paste on my under eyes. I'm gonna use a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape. So over here it's the Beauty Blender side, so I'm gonna go ahead and just blend that. And then since I used the brush on this side, I'm gonna blend out the edges of the concealer with this brush. Okay, so to set, I'm gonna use my brush, and I'm gonna use my CoverGirl powder to set my whole face. And then using a fluffy brush, I'm just gonna set my whole face. And I chose this powder because it's like really fine. I didn't know what other powder to set my foundation with. Usually I use this one. I just didn't want it to change like the color of the foundation. So this one's a translucent powder. Okay, so now I'm gonna finish my makeup and then I'll be right back again. Okay, so this is the way that it looks with the rest of my makeup, and I like the way it worked with the rest of my makeup. Everything was fine. The first impressions of it was that it was not looking so good on my dry areas with the brush part. The Beauty Blender side was looking pretty good the whole time. Right now I feel like it looks a lot better, even though at first it didn't. Like right now that time has passed, I guess, mixing in with my natural oils on my face, I don't know, but it just looks a lot better. So I'll be back in a little bit and I'll tell you what time, which I forgot to tell you what time it was earlier, but right now it's 2:35. Right now it's 2:35. It's kind of late, but still I'm gonna wear it all day, so I'll tell you how many hours have passed later on whenever I check back in. This is the way that it looks right now. Let me give you a close-up. Yeah, this is the way that it looks right now. Nothing's around like my nose or anything. Everything is looking pretty good right now. It's only been, I don't know, like 30 minutes since I started the video. Well, since I applied the foundation, because it took me a long time to do the rest of my makeup. But I will see you guys in a little bit whenever I check in. Okay, so it's 7:50, so it's been about 5 hours or so, but I'll put the time right here. And I have been wearing my glasses because I need to edit a video where I've been editing a video and I need to wear my glasses for that. But I'm about to take them off and we're going to see the way that it looks. I'm pretty sure that the foundation came off from there, because it usually does. Okay, let me give you an update on the rest. So it looks a lot shinier right here, and that's just like from my natural oils, but it actually doesn't look bad to where it looks too oily. And I'm not gonna blot or put powder over it. I'm gonna check back in a few hours, because I don't do that throughout the day, so I'm not gonna do it like for the video. And let's see, everything else looks pretty good though. Like all of my makeup is still there. And around my nose where I had my glasses, you can tell that it came off. And my glasses slide, so it also came off from right there. So the side of my nose is actually not that bad, because sometimes foundations, like cakey foundations, I don't know what that is, start building up a lot on the side of my nose. And this one's not too bad. So it's a close-up of the rest. All of my other makeup is still there, like my highlight, my blush. My eyelash is coming off though, but I'm gonna keep it on. So yeah, so I'll be back in a few hours before I take off my makeup, and I'll let you know how it looks then. Okay, so this is my last check-in, and right now it's 10:05. It does look different than when I first applied it. I am a little bit more oily, but it's not in a bad way to where like it looks super shiny. It still looks pretty good even around my nose, and it didn't like build up a lot on the sides of my nose. And I forgot to show you around my glasses, the same thing. And my glasses slide, like I said earlier, and I push them back up, so I know for sure it probably moved around right there. Like you can kind of see my skin. But anything that I have dry on my face, it's usually like down here or around my face or something, like the way I had it whenever I used the brush to buff it out. It doesn't look like that anymore, and I'm guessing it's just because it like kind of melted into my skin because it's like with the heat and stuff, so it just looks a lot better than it did when I first applied it with the brush side. And I wanted to talk about the applicator, because whenever I went to Ulta, I wasn't wearing any foundation, because whenever I go, I try not to go with makeup on. I mean, if I do, then I do. But whenever I go buy a foundation, I try to go without it. But this one, I can't match it in stores, or I couldn't really do that because it has the wand applicator. So you can't really apply this from a tester on your face because other people have tried it for sure. But what I did was I applied different swatches on my hand. It's just kind of matching it to my neck, to my face, trying to see what color I was. And it matched me pretty good. Right now it looks kind of bright because the computer light is on. But it matched me really good. So in daylight and in, you know, just looking at it in the mirror, it looks like it matches my skin tone. Another thing is that, you know, you're putting that on your face and then you're sticking it back in there. So if you have moisturizer or if you have primer, well, you're sticking that probably back in there. Those were my overall thoughts on the foundation. I like it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Josie Maran foundation. I do have a review on that one too, but it does remind me of it, the finish of it, and I like it. Like, it looks really nice. It wears really nice. It's not dry. It's not creasing. It's not doing any weird stuff like that, like some dry foundations on dry skin. So for dry skin, I would really recommend it. For oily skin, I think you will be able to see the oils over time, like maybe within 3 to 4 hours you will be able to see it, because I could see it and I don't really have that much oily skin. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's foundation review. Let me know if there are any other foundations you would like for me to review, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.